We've been talking about why is it so important to assemble in church. I said in a recent devotion that Latin can help us understand English words. Now, Greek can also help us in figuring out the English. Take the word orthodontist. It comes from two Greek words meaning straight teeth. Many of you have helped to support the local teeth straighteners. Here's another ortho word, orthodoxy. We said one of the reasons church is so important is that it helps us to know what we believe. That is orthodoxy, straight belief. Here's one more ortho word, orthopraxy. Hebrews 10:24. Let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works. Love and good works is orthopraxy, straight practice. Now, Hebrews 10:24 says, let us consider one another. And we said consider means a concern for each other's spiritual life. Stir up, the word means to incite, to irritate. It's actually used 2 times in the New Testament. First time is in Acts 15:39. Paul and Barnabas were the first Christian missionaries. They had a very successful first missionary trip. Now they're getting ready to go back onto their second missionary trip. And Barnabas brings his cousin, John Mark, to travel with them. And the Apostle Paul says, absolutely not. This guy, John Mark, went with them on their first missionary journey, and after a few months he left. The term is leave them in the lurch. And Paul says, I can't trust him, he's not going. And Barnabas, he said, no, let's take him. And the Bible uses in Acts 15:39, then the contention became so sharp that they departed from one another. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed to Cyprus. And then Paul took another man, Silas, and then he went on his way. So we have 2 Christian brothers, 2 good men. Their contention, the problem they were having, the inciting, the irritation, became so sharp that they could not serve together. Now, gratefully, later on, Paul and Barnabas, they seem to have worked things out. And definitely we know that Paul and Mark worked things out. Here's the other time this word is used, Hebrews 10:24. Let us consider one another to stir up. Stir up. The New King James and the English Standard Version says stir up. King James says provoke. New Living Translation says motivate. And the NIV says spur. Now, it's not just the idea of suggesting that the church would come and suggest people to practice love and good works, or have people will think about practicing love and good works. No, it's the idea of challenging, to challenge to do God's will, to obey God. Now, the first cousin of the stir-up word is translated easily provoked in 1 Corinthians 13:5. Now that's the love chapter, 1 Corinthians 13:5. Love does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil. That is talking about Christian love that is not easily provoked, not easily irritated. The church is to provoke that kind of love in us that is not easily provoked at others. The obvious results of that kind of love are good works. Our orthodoxy, straight beliefs, should always result in our orthopraxy, straight practice. The old story is told about the 2 Smith brothers that lived in the same house, and one was a medical doctor and the other a doctor of theology. Their housekeeper took a phone call one day, and the caller asked for Dr. Smith. The maid asked, Do you want the one that preaches or the one that practices? I hope I both preach and practice. And I hope all of us believe and practice our faith. Father, I pray that I can know what I believe and I can live what I believe. And I pray our church can be encouraging people, challenging people, provoking people to love and good works. That we can learn what we believe here and go out to live it every day. Watch over us today to honor you. For these things we ask in Christ's name. Amen.